encourage students to read. And for the introductory course on political science for American government, our students have to read quite a bit. In fact, they have to read a little bit over 40 readings over the semester. And it is very, very important for their learning that they do all the readings. Another thing about that course is that those readings are very unfamiliar to students, so they will tend naturally not to want to read them and just come to class and just pay attention to the lectures. They are readings that are from either Alexandre de Tocqueville, for example, who is a French political philosopher, and as a Frenchman, he writes the other way around. He uses the inverted grammar, which makes it harder for students to read. We have readings from Federalist Papers. We have readings, so older readings like that from the Constitutional Convention with older English. And you have readings from political science peer-reviewed journals. So all of that kind of makes it a little bit more challenging for them, but I really want them to do it. It's really important for them. So of course the first thing that I do is to give them the heads up. I let them know that this is going to be challenging. If they feel it's challenging, that's how it was supposed to feel. And that the benefit of it clearly is they are not just reading from a textbook where someone tells them what to think. They're reading the original sources. But they still need more than that. So more than that type of incentive, I created for my syllabi an incentive that is embedded on the syllabus. And what I do is that I ask students to write a 150 words summary of at least 25 of the readings in the syllabus. They can choose any 25 readings that they want. In a way, it keeps it flexible. If you're having a hard week, if they have assignments or exams on that week, they can choose not to turn in any summaries, but they have to send in 25 for the semester, and that's 25% of their grade. So I make each summary worth a point. There is a little bit of whipping and gnashing of teeth with with the summaries because sometimes they think it's too much hard work. But the way I encourage them is use the summaries as a platform for your study guide. You do the summaries and you come to class and you think about editing your summary as you come to class, and in that way, if you got something wrong in the summary, but right in class, we're not going to forget, we're going to remember that you get that wrong. If you get it right, you're really going to remember that you got it right, so it's really helping your learning. And the good thing about the summaries is that the way I do it, both to make it good for them and for me, is that those are pass or fail assignments. So all they have to do, because I understand they've never done that type of reading before and that it is challenging. All I ask of them is their honest to God best attempt to do the reading as they potentially can. It's a pass or fail, so unless they turn in something that's completely off, like completely unrelated, like unless they send me like a summary of their favorite cupcake recipe, they're pretty much gonna pass. If they turn in something that I think they had good intention but is really, really off the topic, I call them in for a chat just to see what's going on and give them direction on what they're supposed to do. Another thing that I add to that assignment is that because I understand they are very unfamiliar with that type of reading, is that I created a summary questions document that I also post on Moodle. And what I have is that I give them a question that they are supposed to answer for each one of the readings. So if they're doing a summary for that reading, they're supposed to read the summary question, and I tell them, like, the summary question is telling you something about the reading. It's supposed to have some concepts that you should be paying attention to when you're doing your reading, relationship between ideas. So the summary question helps to prep them on what they should be looking for when they're doing the reading. They can write their summary attempting to answer the summary question so they're not completely lost. Like, oh my gosh, I don't know, there's so many ideas here in this reading. What should I write this reading about? And I say, write the summary about this. And I think it's been very helpful for students that really want to dwell on the course. It helps them to build up that study guide over time. And it really also really helps them in terms of their grade, because I tell them this is the easiest 25 points of your life. You're getting 25 points for studying right. I mean, you can't do any better than that. So that is my my study tip for how to get students to read.